I was just thinking about how neurodivergent people are actually spiritually gifted, and they just didn't want us to know that. If you think about it, why do you think they want to put people on pills and, oh, like, you have this, you have that? And like, it's because we're actually too aware. We are tapped into a different consciousness, and that's why they want to give us pills, so they could dim down our consciousness to come down to a regular level. And that's what they didn't tell you, right? Because it was never about helping other people. It was always about control. That's why we have to go to school. That's why our time and everything that we do is always controlled, because it's just like, if they don't control you, the number one thing that they're trying to stop people from doing is finding out who the fuck they are, right? And it's just like, with neurodivergent people, we are just naturally tapped into different realms and dimensions. That's why they want to put you on pills, because the pills, they dim your fucking consciousness and they block your pineal gland, right? So people who are neurodivergent have like a naturally open pineal gland, and that's what they don't want you to know. And since these people are tapped into more energies, they're gonna call you all sorts of things. They're gonna call you crazy and put you on pills and all this shit. And the thing was that when I was like 7 or 8, I got diagnosed with ADHD. Why did I get diagnosed with that? Because they already knew that I was tapped into another dimension, into other realms, right? And it's just like, these quote unquote psychiatrists that diagnose these people know who the gifted children are, the gifted children of God are, right? So it's just like, they need to dim you down immediately and put you on pills. Because if they don't put you on pills, it's going to get to a point where eventually the person who they're diagnosing, if they don't give that person pills, that person is going to have a spiritual awakening, right? And this is why when a lot of people stop taking pills, they become immediately aware of who they are as a person and their spiritual awakening. And it's the crazy part is, like, when I used to take the pills when I was younger, it made me feel like a fucking robot. Like, you literally have no thoughts, no nothing. And that's what they want from neurodivergent people. Neurodivergent people are naturally tapped into different dimensions. We have so many thoughts and ideas. They need to shut that shit down, right? And that's how I felt when I took those pills. Like, there were no thoughts in me. I was just blank. And it's such a disgusting feeling, you know? And that just goes to show that neurodivergent people are smarter than regular people, because it's just like, if I'm smarter than you, then you have to give me a pill for me to dim down my fucking consciousness to come down to your level. It's because we're already above other people on a consciousness level, and we're tapped into other things that neurotypical people or regular people are not tapped into. So don't believe the whole shit that neurodivergents are crazy and this and that. You don't have to take pills. Don't take the fucking pills. What you do is you find other ways to cope with your depression and your anxiety or whatever, because it's just like, you have a gift. I feel like neurodivergent people have a gift, and it's just like, you gotta find out how you can use that to your advantage. Don't allow people to sit here and call you crazy and make you take pills and even go into a fucking therapist, because therapists are low-key demonic. I've heard many stories where people's therapists have outed them. It's just not a safe space. I feel like the only safe space that you have is with you and God. And maybe if you have trusted people in your life, but honestly, other than that, I'm not gonna sit here in front of another human being and tell another human being my problems. You know what I mean? That person could have it even worse than me. I'm just not gonna do that, and like, therapists don't even genuinely care about you. So like, they're only in it for the money too. Like, if you really think that a therapist really gives a fuck about you, like, they really don't. You know what I mean? Like, you're just a passing client to them. You're just a money person for them. It's just, you mean nothing to them. I feel like you get more out of praying to God than going to a therapist, honestly, because this is the thing. Neurodivergence, it has no cure. It's just something that you're born with, and it's just like the fact that they be like, oh, you have this disorder. It's not a disorder. You are divinely ordered by God. This is why you have a quote unquote disorder, because your consciousness is too high for this world. Us neurodivergents, our consciousness is already too high. That's why they gotta give you pills and make you feel like you're crazy. Because if you think about it, the crazy people are the normal ones, right? And the normal ones are the crazy ones. So crazy people are actually the normal ones, because we are tapped into a different, higher consciousness. So we see life how it is, and like the normal people, quote unquote, like, they're the crazy ones because they see life from a distorted perspective, right? So I am neurodivergent, so I see life from a higher perspective than other people. So I see life how it is. I am normal, right? But to society, I am crazy. But the normal people who think that they're normal, they're actually the crazy ones, because they see life from such a distorted point of view. They don't even know what's real or fake, right? But yeah, it's just crazy, Neurodivergent folks, we are the smart ones. We are the normal ones, actually. So don't let people make you feel like you're crazy, because neurodivergents are actually the normal ones in this world. Anyways, bye.